Hiya, my name is Kyle, and I've been working with Coach Ryan now for about 5 months, and I wanted to jump on here and share a little bit about me and my experience working with him in case you had any questions or reservations about taking the next step in working with him. A little bit about me. I, about 10 years ago, started as a group fitness instructor, and while fitness was always a passion of mine, I finally was afforded an opportunity to share that passion with others and help them live healthier lives through movement, and through building a sense of community. However, in 2021 and 2022, I sustained a lumbar spine injury. I had a herniated disc in my L5, S1, and it caused such pain in my lower back and my hip that I ultimately sought medical attention. I saw a number of doctors, I had MRIs done, and ultimately it boiled down to 3 paths forward. One was surgery, and I did not want to get spinal surgery. 2 was an epidural. Again, didn't want a giant needle in my spine. And 3 was working with physical therapists. So naturally, I chose option 3. So over the course of the next couple of years, I worked with a variety of different physical therapists, and I worked with each of them for different amounts of time, my longest being upwards of a year. And while there was some relief in the pain that I was experiencing, it never really fixed the solution. I never felt confident in the gym again. I started avoiding all hinging motions. I stopped using the squat racks, and all of my lower body work, my hamstrings, my quads, my glutes, they were done through what I thought was the safety of a machine. Outside of the gym, I stopped hinging and bending over and picking things up and squatting because I was afraid of my back flaring up. So despite all of these alterations that I made both in my workout programming and in my daily life, I would still have pretty nasty flare-ups to the point where oftentimes I was horizontal for a number of days. I even had to call out of work a number of times just because of the pain that I was experiencing. And it was more recently that I decided that I needed to make sort of a change. And that conversation happened between my husband and I when we started talking about family planning. And the thought of not being able to bend down and pick up my kid or go outside and play with them without my back hurting, without the potential of me essentially being horizontal for a number of days, really terrified me. So it was about this time that I stumbled across Dr. Ryan's page, and I looked at the client testimonials, and I saw the great success that a lot of people had. I was hesitant about originally reaching out because I didn't have the best of luck with physical therapists, and I was not quite sure how an online program would work. But at this point, I had dedicated enough time, enough resources, and enough money into solutions that didn't work that the worst thing that could happen was just a conversation. And then we could have parted ways. However, that is not the experience that I had. From the moment I jumped on the call with Dr. Ryan, one of the things that I valued the most was his transparency about the programming and the opportunity he afforded me to speak about what I wanted to do. In terms of that, we jumped on a call. He went through different sort of options of programming that he's offered without promising any sort of miracle solution. Flare-ups are a part of the process, and he was very upfront about that. He was also upfront about the fact that with consistent work in his programming, the flare-ups and the duration of the flare-ups would ultimately decrease in time. And they have. In terms of getting to know me, he didn't build a program that was sort of cookie cutter. It was tailored to what I wanted at the gym, what my long-term goals were, both in the gym and outside of the gym. And ultimately, we agreed on a path that would work forward with open communication and transparency. When those flare-ups have happened, which they have, Dr. Ryan has always been a phone call away. We've assessed pain levels, we've pivoted my workouts, and he's followed up daily to ensure that we're progressing in the right way. And having that sense of security and safety is so valuable to me and my workout. Overall, over the past 5 months, I have felt more like myself than I have in a really long time. I have more confidence in the gym. I feel like I am less prone to injury. My movements feel smoother and stronger. I'm back to RDLs and hinging motions. I'm doing back squats with greater depth, better form, and more control. And all of this is really thanks to Dr. Ryan and his programming. So to anyone that is on the fence, that's really hesitant, I would say this: take the time to invest in yourself, to feel more like yourself, to be confident in movements both in and outside of the gym is not something that you can put a price tag on. Do it for yourself. I promise you, you will not regret it. You get one body in this lifetime. So you can spend lots of resources trying to fix it one way, or you can try and succeed with a programming and a path that is tailored to you. If you have any questions, if you ever want to reach out, feel free. More than happy to connect and sort of go over my experience with you in more detail. But thank you for your time.